Good morning. I'm just outside today. It's a little hard to see here. Okay. And I just need a moment to manage multiple platforms. All right. Welcome, everyone, to our weekly Sunday meditation. We have 3 more meetings after today online before we wrap up with online for the summer, and I will send out some invitations for in-person meditations either in Fish Creek Park or in South Glenmore Park. I've got a small group with me here today outside, and a small group online as well.
I think it's just me online so far.
I have another platform as well.
Oh, yeah.
And let's begin by getting into the mindful body. That's our posture that's strong and straight. Noticing where your feet contact the floor, where your sits bones hold you up, and stretching out your spine strong and straight. Moving into our first anchor of sound, noticing the sounds within our own bodies. And just reposition if you're uncomfortable. Cross-legged doesn't work for all. Just talking to the group I have here in person. Noticing the sounds around us in our practice environment, maybe the room where you're sitting. In our case here, it's in my backyard, so there's lots of noise going on. There's birds and cats, kids. Dogs. Noticing the strong, straight body and our presence in this environment. All of the sounds that make it up are all welcome. As we sit and observe what is to reconnect to this present moment. Observing the breath now, the rise and fall of the torso. Bringing a sense of wonder to the mix as we shift between our anchors. What a miracle it is to breathe clearly and easily, if we're able to. And of course, it's something we share with so many other life forms on our planet, so it's a real source of connection to everything around us. Plants, animals, people. Noticing the rise and fall of the torso. Remembering there's no right or wrong way to breathe. It just is, it's involuntary. And as you develop practice and skill, you will feel more easy about how to breathe. The breath will deepen and slow down. But we don't need to work at that. Let's move on to a body scan, sending your thoughts from your feet, making contact with the floor, up your legs. Relaxing your belly. With each stop you make on this trip around the body, stop and take a nice breath. Relaxing the face and shoulders. Relaxing the hands and belly. And let's cycle through the body again, starting with the feet. Relaxing the hands and belly. Relaxing the face, shoulders. In this part of our work, we're developing heartfulness meditation. That's traditional loving kindness meditation. And we have an intention submitted by a participant in our class who's got a child in crisis. In my own student body, I have 3 or 4 teenagers who have tried to commit suicide recently, and this is a heartbreaking agony. And for any of you who have experienced the loss of a loved one to suicide in your family, you know what that's like. That decades pass, but there's not a day you don't wonder, could you have done something different? How could you have helped? And one way we as practitioners of meditation help is in the invisible. And as we sit and connect to the highest and best that lies within us, it's a source of strength we get from outside of ourselves and we share with others. It flows through us just as it flows to us. And I invite you to call to mind anyone in your circle who is sick and suffering, physically, emotionally, mentally. It's a war zone out here in my backyard. We thought it would be peaceful and quiet. Lots of busy birds. So collecting our sense of strength, often we focus on what's negative. And right now I invite you to focus on what is strong within us. And calling to mind the image of a loved one in your circle who is sick or suffering, and sending them our heartful love, our prayers for peace and ease, and hopefulness. For flexible thinking, often for young people, this is a key component of wisdom that needs to develop. To release this enormous sense of pressure and shame that arises from our circumstances not being absolutely perfect. With age and wisdom, we understand that life just doesn't roll that way. But for young people, they gotta still figure that out. And so we send them love and the support and wisdom of being an elder in the community. reminding ourselves how important it is to serve our community in ways that are small like this. With each breath in, let's remind ourselves of the great strength and courage and purpose we can carry if we choose to align ourselves with highest and best. And with each exhalation, let's share that with our community, especially those in our circle that are sick and suffering. Noticing the rise and fall of the torso. If you lose focus, that's okay. Bringing our attention back to the breath. Inhaling a sense of strength and ease and peacefulness, and with each exhalation, sharing that with our community. Stop and observe how wonderful it feels to own this true power. Recognizing that our true strength comes from connecting with a strength outside ourselves and then sharing it equally with all of our brothers and sisters. Noticing also how nice it feels for us personally not to sit and stew in our worries and problems and sense of shame and failure. We just put that aside so we can be of service to our community right now, to people who are more vulnerable than we are. Always returning to the breath, to the strong, mindful body. Relaxing the hands and face. And with each inhalation and exhalation, also taking pride and comfort and self-respect in the fact that we can provide service this way. That our work in the invisible is pretty important, but also better prepares us to do work in the physical world for when we need to respond skillfully to those who are sick and suffering. And that could range from how we respond to a road rage incident all the way to how we are caring for those at end of life. It's our sitting in practice together that trains us how to be skillful in the world of action. think there are some ants right there, Ian. Just shuffle over a little bit. Yeah. We'll wrap up our practice in a couple minutes, and in our final few breaths together, making a commitment to sit in practice on your own at any point during the week, connecting to our true strength and offering out as an act of service. And this doesn't have to be seated in quiet in the morning. It can be while you're driving. It can be riding an elevator. It can be walking in the grocery store. All of our thoughts and actions are an opportunity to provide service. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Everything will be posted at the usual places later today. If you do have any intentions to submit to our class, they are, of course, welcome. Please email me at any time. Thanks again and have a wonderful Sunday.